Top stories at 6:50 here this Friday in our Smart Start. A woman from Brockport is sounding the alarm about concerns about poor treatment and neglect she says her mother is experiencing at a nursing home.
Nancy Hagman's 99-year-old mom, Florence, moved to Waterview Nursing Home on November 14th. Hagman claims her mother has been neglected, including not getting her medication on time and being served cold meals.
One day I came in and she had been sitting in her wheelchair and it was covered with feces. And I talked to her roommate, and because mom was asleep because she had had a rough night, and the roommate said that mom and the roommate had been calling and calling for an aide and nobody came. The next day when I came in, there was still feces on her wheelchair.
We did reach out to the facility for comment, and the regional administrator says, quote, year-round, our facility and our employees work tirelessly to help provide care, quality of life, and dignity to our residents. Please encourage any individual who contacts your news outlet to reach out to our facility to talk about their questions or concerns, because protecting our residents' privacy and dignity is important and required. We unfortunately will not be able to provide any additional comment, end quote. Well, if you have a similar situation, would maybe like to file a similar complaint, we have links on our website, rochesterfirst.com. You can also find a way to contact the State Attorney General's office. An arrest has been made in the death of a local mother from 2 years ago. Here on your screen is 48-year-old Kenneth Ingham, who faces charges of vehicular manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide, as well as aggravated DWI. He is accused of driving a motorcycle while drunk with the victim, Suzanne Miller, on the bike, and then they crashed in Clarkson in 2021. Miller seriously injured and died 4 months later. Her children here speaking with News 8 and say that the other person who was on the bike with their mom, Ingham, they have known him, in fact, for several years.
I haven't even been able to sleep since I found out the news, because obviously as a person who looked at somebody for 7 years as a father figure, wouldn't even do something like that.
All I want is the truth. I just want to know what really happened, and you know, if the truth means that someone, whoever it may be, needs to be punished in some way, you know, then it is what it is. But I don't make those decisions. I just want to stop being lied to, and I want some closure for my mother.
Following his extradition from South Carolina to Monroe County, Ingham was arraigned on the charges and posted bail, and he's due back in court February 1st.
We'll have some more news coming up in a second. First, some weather headlines with James, mid-40s, and rain again this morning.
Yeah, downpours, especially north of Rochester, along 104. It's been kind of just lingering in that area.
Yeah, absolutely soaking the ground every time I get out.
Yep, yeah, and it is actually pushing a little bit further south, but weakening as it works its way into Rochester, and you can see this 3-hour loop. It's just stationary practically. So expect those showers to start off the day, a little bit of dry time, and then eventually maybe we'll see this changing over to some wintry mix, rain, snow showers as we get into the overnight. We'll take a look at the weekend and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day forecast at the end of the show. Brennan?
That's coming up momentarily. Thank you, James. Keep in mind maybe some ponding during the heavy downpours you're passing through this morning. Map looking okay, though, on our sunrise traffic update here. We'll check that again at about 7:26.
We are almost at the end of the year, and the Rochester Police Department is breaking down this year's crime statistics with a noticeable decrease in homicides compared to previous years.
According to RPD and the Crime Tracker, homicides in the city have fallen off by more than a quarter, from 73 to 57 compared to 2022. Captain Greg Bellows says, yes, while the numbers are down, no, they are not satisfied overall with where they're at.
We need to bring that number down more, and that's where we're continuing to evolve. We're continuing to look at what we're doing as a police department and make adjustments so that we can continue to bring those numbers down.
Bellow adds, with partnerships between RPD's Criminal Investigation Unit and the District Attorney's Office, they are able to solve shootings much faster. They're also looking to expand the force, the total number of officers on the department next year. More information about the current data portal trends can be found in our coverage on the homepage of our website.
Let's go inside that huddle now, where Von Miller speaks to the media for the first time following his arrest back in November.
According to the police report that we covered then, Miller pushed, pulled hair, and applied pressure to the neck of his pregnant girlfriend. That was in Texas. Miller says the allegations are shocking and overblown.
everything is false. And, you know, I would love to sit here and say, y'all know me, you know, but it's not, you know, this is not that type of situation, because, you know, domestic violence really happens around the world, and for men and women, and it's a serious situation. So I wouldn't pull that card. All I can say is, you know, it's just a matter of time before, you know, everything is set straight.
That's off the field. On the field, he has not had much of an impact at all. The edge rusher has a total of 0 sacks and 3 tackles in 11 games. Not perfect for a guy who just signed a $120 million last year deal on that. Miller says he doesn't think he came back from his knee injury too early, tore an ACL, and he says there have been no setbacks, just hasn't really performed. The Bills, some other headlines, released offensive lineman Germain Ifedi, opening up a roster spot for Daquan Jones. He's been back at practice twice this week. Thad Brown and company will be covering those storylines and more Sunday morning. Buffalo Kickoff Live on air at 11:30. The AFC East matchup on the docket with the Pats coming to town, and they are back at 1 o'clock for the first time in weeks. It's Buffalo and New England. The Bills could clinch a playoff berth with a win and some other help around the league depending on results. Bills and Pats right here on News 8 at 1 coming up Sunday.
All right. Yeah, great way to ring out the year. Maybe they'll have some nice weather to cooperate with the game. Who's
I'm hoping they get some snow. That's
really?
for entertainment purposes.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
They're used to playing in all kinds of weather, right? So give something else for the crowd to enjoy.
Yeah, and I think we've got a PM mix you can see on the 8-day on New Year's Eve. So it could be really maybe your drive home. If you end up leaving the stadium 4, 5, 6 p.m., you might run into some snow showers for that. But otherwise, it's unlikely to stick with temperatures in the mid-30s there. And then you go into New Year's Day. There you go, Monday. Early flurries. See you next year.
Yeah, just like that. Wow. Wrapping up Sunrise for 2023. Thank you for being part of it. We'll see you back here in half an hour.
Thank you for sharing your morning and your year with us, everyone.